Well, the draw against Luris. His hands. I'd like to win a few more die rolls, but I think we're supposed to keep this. Could be a little slow though. Luris, Flooded Strands, Island. It's Mill. Let's go. Maybe let's go. If they have surgical extraction, we're in rough shape. Pretty Lights, 15 months. Welcome back. Appreciate ya. I do think we need to find a counterspell for their surgical, though. I don't think they are main decking any extra paid, so I could be wrong about that. That is a counterspell. I'm gonna keep it. It's maybe gonna be a little too slow. I don't think I fire the crab. Like, I think I'm supposed to ignore the crab. So I think what I'm gonna do is ice on their upkeep. They're doing a 4-2 split. That many? It seems like so many. I could be wrong. I mean, extra paid is going to be a very difficult card to beat. That sweet Bant Ephemerate guide. Yeah, Bant Ephemerate's been such a tough nut to crack. I do feel like Ice Fang is pretty good at the moment, though. Ice Fang is like very good against Hammer Time. And it's solid against the Ragavan Darcy decks, I feel. It's like usually a great 2-for-1. Ooh, we drew the counterspell. My thoughts on Sudden Edict instead of Terminating Black Red Monkey deck and kind of a way to deal with Murktide. Well, it only deals with Murktide if they don't have no, don't have extra pay. Surgical, okay. They could have a counterspell. We're gonna fight over this, of course. Yeah, I mean, it only deals with Murktide if they don't have another creature in play. It's also true, like, Terminate is a much more... It's better card against Titan, I think, because of a Boreal Grazer. I think Sudden Edict is just, like, you're just trying to be a bit too smart with it, to be honest. Terminate's way better against Hammer Time, too. They draw a card in response. Successful counter. Awesome. Alright, no rush here. Yeah, we can just try to ignore these crabs, I think. We have 4 Emrakuls in the deck. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Valakut Awakening, put back Snapcaster, Bolt, Prismari commands. Gonna fetch now because of trap. I'd rather than trap now than like have another draw step to also find surgical. You think you'll be fine without Anger of the Gods in this type of deck? Yeah, I do. Like, I don't think that Anger of the Gods is particularly good at the moment. It's okay, but we're main decking 4 Fire Ice, 4 Prismari Command, so we have like way more removal than these decks tend to anyways. I'm just not that worried about it. Maybe Emrakul could join the hand at some point, huh? I'm surprised that they're even playing lands at all if they don't have a surgical. Be worthwhile to keep the bolt so you can finish off last 2 damage. I don't think that matters. If we hit them with Emrakul, we'll win eventually. Bit of a flood though. We have 2 through the breaches, so I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to jam. They also can't drown. They have to have like counterspell. Well, they're not playing bridge. They have Luris, so I'm not worried about that. Good matchup to side in Ragavan. Relic is good against the surgicals. Extirpate particularly seems like a difficult card to beat, though. I'm gonna need to leave in all the Snapcasters. Like alternate win con. Maybe I could actually trim an Emrakul. Play 4 bolts. Ragavan means you need to kill the crabs. You only need to kill the 3 toughness crab with Ragavan. But I have bolts. But the 2 toughness crab just blocks Ragavan. Were you able to splice and hold up counter? I don't know why people are obsessed with splicing. Splicing is 9 mana though, but people keep asking about it today. But splicing is so confusing. But to splice through, splicing there does nothing. And it would cost 9 mana to do so, but it doesn't give you anything particularly advantageous. I'll keep a turn 1 monkey on the mold to 6. The natural predator of Ragavan. I guess I'll try to hold up Flusterstorm since the Ragavan can't get through the crab right yet now. Bayu, thank you for your 2-month resub. Appreciate ya. Hedron crab is fine. So I'm gonna fetch and shock. My life total doesn't matter that much, and if they have trap plus surgical, I will really want to have Flusterstorm up so they can't surgical my Emrakuls if they mill it over with trap. Just gonna fetch again on my turn. I'm just gonna get the Siemens again. Still no Emrakul. Can't they surgical still in response to the fetch? No, they have to cast trap after the fetch resolves. Because at the time of the fetch ability going on the stack, I haven't searched my library yet, so they can't cast trap. Why could an Emrakul? I mean, that they're going to be trying to surgical them aggressively anyway, so if I have one stuck in my hand and they do get their surgical off, it's a bit bad to have that Emrakul in my hand. 3 Emrakuls is plenty to not die to the crabs. And I tend to cut an Emrakul in matchups that have counterspells anyways, because like multiple through the breaches are good to draw against a counterspell deck, while multiple Emrakuls aren't. Catfish Bat, thank you for your subscription. Appreciate you. Yeah, Flusterstorm is mostly good for the Cascade decks, because those decks beat you with like Violent Outburst plus Force of Negation so often. I think I'm gonna try to steal Ruin Crab. Exclamation point steals in chat, huh? They cycle in response. They hit Emrakul. Oh, they did. Yeah. Brutal. But we do have like a pretty robust backup plan with these Snapcaster Ragavans, right? And I guess now the crab. And Ragavan can like maybe steal some mill spells. Through the Breach, not that good of a draw though. A deck for deft. If you could post it in chat, I'll take a look. Through the Breach Snapcaster. Everybody always wants me to Through the Breach Snapcaster. Playing and running Black Red Lures at LGS, and while Jund is mostly a meme, there are a lot of Jund players. Are there any insane Sideboard cards that should play more consistent wins? Unearth is your best card in that matchup. You could play more copies of that card. Right. Maybe cool it with the Through the Breaches a bit deck. I guess I kind of think we're just on this mill plan. They go Luris Crab, we go Snap Bolt to kill Luris. Although I guess they get their 3 toughness crab back. That's kind of a problem. And they have a fetch. Team or Asmo? I feel like 5 Oval Chase plus Squee effects is just too many. Honestly, I'm kind of the opinion that you might even want only 3 Daredevils. And Daredevil is better than Squee because you can trigger off multiple... you can trigger off multiple cookbooks, right? So I think that you like I've kind of been of the opinion that you want to play 4 Daredevils. It's just like I feel like I see the cookbook decks lose so often because they draw 2 like 2 or 3 Daredevils. I know that's kind of a hot take, and I also don't feel super strongly about that. I'll say, but that is my opinion that the squeeze is going to be too many. I think main deck Needle is pretty good right now for the Hammer Time matchup. I also think Galvanic Blast is maybe better than Lightning Bolt in these decks. 4 Wrenn and 6 is probably 1 too many. You can kind of Wrenn and 6 for a Needle. I like playing Alpine Moon in the sideboard. I like the Emrakul in the sideboard. I like the Aether Grid. Remember to board an Emrakul against Heliod. I actually think Abrade is terrible. I don't really know why people... Abrade is just like a 2-mana answer in a format dominated by these 1-mana spells. I think I'm not that into it, personally. I guess I need to counter this. I would be playing like the second Shattering Spree over the first Abrade easily. Snap Charm, steal another crab, then race them, clear the blocker. Well, the problem is they just have more crabs they get to keep playing off Luris if I don't Snap Bolt the Luris. But if we can deal with this Ruin Crab, all of a sudden things are way better for us. So drawing Charm or Bolt for that. We mill 6 down to 19. We're still slightly ahead in the mill race. They have 1 card left in their hand. We're also dealing some damage with our attacks. Through the Breach Ragavan. Aspect. Alright, then a deck tech for command. Another take on our deck. This is with main deck Ragavan. So I talked about this before. I'm of the opinion that I've never really liked main deck Blood Moon in Through the Breach decks because like your Through the Breach game plan tends to like shine in the same spots that your Blood Moons do, and it just has never really felt that necessary. Guess we're probably gonna lose. Going to game 3, it just never felt that necessary to me to have Blood Moons. Blood Moons are fine at the moment, but I know you have like your nut draw of Ragavan into Blood Moon on the play, but I just think I'm not that into it personally. Maybe I should be boarding up some cards. Probably not. I think the Madcap plan is not that good at the moment, where like Hammer Time is the premier aggro deck. They just beat that with Nexus, and then and like Blue Red Prowess is not that popular at the moment. Dredge is not that popular. I think Relic's a really good sideboard card. I'd play the first Chalice over the second Void Mirror. I'd play Flusterstorm over Dispute for the Cascade matchups, which I think is super relevant. I also like my mana base a lot, although I guess you need to play this mana base if you play the Blood Moons. Oh, I think you're playing too few lands, right? Oh, I guess you're playing... No, sorry, what's the Awakening? This is fine. I just think that the Ragavans are probably like not even necessarily that good in the main deck of this deck, since it's like the whole format's just gearing to beat the card. Which is why I have them in the sideboard of this list. Alright, let's keep this. Would Fury be good in here to punch extra Ragavans plus Breach? Probably not. It's like, because the Ragavans are like your sideboard plan. I'm not convinced that you would want them for something like that. Upset to hit a land. Why are you running fetchless? Why not go full painless? Well, full painless usually requires you to play Temple of Epiphany and or Spirebluff Canal, and I'm of the opinion that tap lands are something I would prefer to avoid at the moment. All right, I guess I'm gonna play the Relic, and then exile from my yard. Oh, I guess exiling from my yard is kind of awkward when I want to shuffle cards in with Emrakul. And main phasing it's also really bad because if they mill Emrakul and have Surgical, I can't tap. Okay, this was terrible. So if they hit Emrakul now, I probably just deserve to lose this game. I'm just not supposed to tap this. Yeah, Ruin Crab being an 0-3 is weird. I don't know, it's like Hedron Crab can target yourself, which is really powerful. Makes some sense. Ragavan just actually drawing a card on connection. Yeah, I think it's a fine other take on the deck. I'm just giving you my opinions on it. I think it's totally reasonable. I prefer the direction I've gone a little bit, you know. All right. That matchup seems really good. I'm happy about. I have to mulligan this. We're on the draw against Lurrus. I feel like we've lost the die roll against every Lurrus deck so far. Okay, I guess I'm putting back Charm. It's Milligan? Hell yeah. Woo! Man. How lucky. Plays through the breach, gets paired against Mill twice. Mill opponent who kept a one-lander. Streamer luck. Yeah, paid Millers. Yeah, Tasha's maniacal laughter. Good draw too. Oh, thank goodness, no surgical. We do just like, we're just dead in the water, I guess, if they have surgical in their hand, but they don't. Oh, you know what's cool here? Is if they mill Emrakul and then surgical it, we can Prismari Command, discard Emrakul, and then shuffle it all back, you know, shuffle the other Emrakuls and fizzle the trigger. That's kind of cool, right? Just breaching an Emrakul, any other targets? Emrakul is the only target. I think Emrakul is sufficient. Don't want to loot? Yes. It's not like there's like a million other good targets in Modern for Through the Breach, right? We just sided in this matchup. We brought in the Ragavans, the Flusterstorms, the Relics. Got the Prismari Commands, 4th Emrakul, and the Fire Ices. Matchup feels really good. Alright, this hand's good. I'm gonna keep. Again, Relic is nice in this matchup because you can exile your own Emrakul in response to a surgical extraction. Nothing gets around Extirpate though. Then they have the wrong crab to block Ragavan. Although it's possible that like we lose to surgical here, so I don't know. They have to hit the Emrakul and have surgical. They didn't have the surgical, or at least if they have it, they messed up. I drowned the Ragavan. Another reason to play the Relic, I guess. Alright, I'm just gonna fetch now, rather than trap when they don't have mana up. To extirpate here. Valakut Awakening can unflood us too, hopefully. Test of Talents against Breach is also bad, I guess, yeah. Yes, there are good sideboard cards against us. Yeah, this matchup is not an auto win. I just think that we're favored because we just have like a lot of counterplay to their effective cards against us, right? But it's not an auto win. Like no matchup is, of course. I'm honestly like, this happened last time too. If they don't have surgical in their hand, they probably shouldn't be milling us so super aggressively. But I think I'm just never supposed to tap Relic. Now I think I'm not supposed to tap out a Counterspell if I can help it. I mean, if they have a surgical, I mean, even if they have surgical, it doesn't beat the Relic, so they probably need to wait till they draw extirpate to be playing these lands. Okay, they're gonna draw. Oh, they. This is a recall. I guess I need to counter this. I can pop the Relic to counter it too, but that is kind of awkward because then I have all these cards exiled instead of shuffled back in. So if they have surgical, they know about the Relic trick. Keep that. Yeah, this is a back-to-back mill matchups. Pretty lucky, huh? I know Emrakul. Maybe I should have fetched right there. You usually want to fetch your shock lands in this matchup. Well, I guess I just build over my second Steam Vents, but usually you want to fetch your shock lands in this matchup since they have all these Field of Ruins. And your life total doesn't almost matter at all. Okay, they let Emrakul shuffle back in. Doesn't really feel like they're accomplishing. Oh, now, and also now the Steam Vents is back in my deck. They're gonna draw one card in response, sure. Right, this has not been a super impressive showing for their deck so far. I feel like Snap. Maybe I could have just cast Valakut Awakening, but I think I like casting the Snap Opt. Getting a creature in play is kind of nice. Love drawing Counterspell. No, not the third crab. I guess I could probably tap there, tap the Relic deck, target them. Now, it almost doesn't matter at all. Just kind of free. Could exile our Tarn, but just like leaving cards to shuffle back in is nice. It seems they forgot about Luris. They've had a couple windows where they could have put Luris in hand and they just haven't. Let me just put back Misty. There's our boy. I guess I'll just play the Awakening so that I can get through the breach with Flusterstorm up. Because they could have a Counterspell. But the Counterspell would have to be like, it can't be Drown. I guess it can't be Drown because we can Relic. It have to be like Dispute, Dispel. What a funny matchup. They put Luris into their hand, so Flusterstorm should bring us home here. I'm gonna go and steal their Ruin Crab. So I can start attacking with Snapcaster. Although I guess they're just dead to this anyways. Well, let's see if we can play against Mill 3 times in a row, huh? Easy 2-0 start. Player best matchup twice in a row. I think this deck might be really good, Spike. I think you're onto something here. Did win the die roll. Another Luris deck. Let's see if it's Mill. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna play Tarn on the 2-1. It's the Rakdos deck, looks like. And this matchup, I felt we beat 2 decks similar to this already today. We beat the Rakdos deck and then like the Mardu Shadow deck. Best case scenarios, they go Darcy and discard spell before attacking. They should probably just attack first. You'd be a bit too greedy to try to just hope that they play Darcy. They have it. Why couldn't you have done that pre-combat? There's not too much reason to do it pre-combat. You probably should take the snap, right? Counterspell's not too effective in this matchup. They do take the counterspell. I'm not sure what that says about the contents of their hand. It obviously says we're gonna draw another counterspell though. Can't mean anything besides that. You can discard a Valakut Awakening. I did see Spider's Rakdos food deck. If they have a burn spell here. They don't? Wow, imagine if we drew another Fire Ice. We bottom that? Maybe a bit greedy. I don't mind being a bit greedy here though. Yeah, but I think that's a good food variant. I don't, I know everybody wants to figure out what the best food variant is. Hey Shane, how you doing? Make us discard, deal 2 damage to us. This is kind of awkward. Or if we discard the Emrakul, we don't get to snap anything back. I think I'm just gonna discard Snapcaster, try to draw through the breach. Bummer. One more turn if they don't have bolts. If we draw the Snapcaster the turn previous, we could have gone Snap Fire Ice, right? Voidwalker, alright, through the breach off the top. Or, bummer. Alright, so I want the relics in this matchup. I'm not a huge fan of Prismari Command here. It's not terrible, it's just not that good. I think I do want Ragavans on the play. I think we probably don't want them on the draw. Can cut some snaps because we bring in all these relics. Cut like the 4th opt too. Maybe trim a through the breach and an Emrakul. Maybe that's good. Make room for the, I think Snapcaster is still like one of our better cards in the matchup. Even with the relics in the deck. How often do you think you shave all copies of Ragavan on the draw across the board? Not that often. Like I cut all the Ragavans against decks like Or sometimes I'll leave one in, but like against Hammer Time, Yawgmoth, decks that are really good at just beating up like blue-red prowess, I'll cut all the Ragavans, but you don't like usually just have all these sideboard cards to bring in for your Ragavans in most decks. How many channel points for you to build a deck, not just play it, put together 75? I don't know. I probably just think decline those offers at the moment. I'm gonna keep this. It's hard to mulligan in this matchup. You just can't make me do anything for some amount of money or channel points, right? I've got like specific things you can ask me to do. How do you feel about Breach in comparison to creativity? I think Ragavan's been a good sideboard card to answer your second question. I think I prefer Through the Breach at the moment because of the density of removal spells in the metagame. This is metagame super duper defined by removal spells, and the creativity plan dying to, you know, all the instant speed removal in the format is not something I'm super excited about. I think the deck's fine, but just Through the Breach dodging the removal seems like this is a good place to be, you know. I'm gonna ice them. I've really been a fan of ice. I'm gonna ice them again, I think, but I want to leave up the bolts. I play the coin. I'm probably not gonna play the coin flip deck unless I get super bored, I guess. Remember when we kept a one lander? And they missed a land drop. Happy to see it. Wrong half of the combo though. If my opponent Inquisitions me, do I double bolt them? Probably. Easy discard. Maybe not so easy discard. Now Thoughtseize is way better against us. Yeah. I don't know. I still think it was the play. Nine points to burn. All right, well. Fair enough. Ha. Hated. Oh, I guess they just wanted to get the card in the yard for Kroxa. Kroxa's so good. No, we haven't played the Ephemerate deck yet. I think we're going to do that one next. I played a little bit of it off stream. Specifically, I was really impressed by the Kavu. I thought that card seemed pretty good to me at the moment. Another Snapcaster might get us there. I'll Desperation dash a Ragavan. If they don't have anything, we could maybe bolt. Ragavan also goes back to the hand. It can get discarded to Kroxa. So we're not dead if they have nothing. Oh, they have a bolts. We're dead. Alright, 2 and 1. 3-0 with a variation of Spellstar Jeskai, but against Hammer Twin twice. Yeah, I think that's a solid matchup. Alright, on the draw. It's a non-Luris deck for the first time this league. Main phase Thought Scour themselves. I'm just gonna play my Awakening tapped. I know it's a bit awkward with the Counterspell Charm, but we've got 4 filter lands in our deck, and well, we've kept a kind of sketchy hand, it looks like. I think the Izzet Spellstar deck with Luris would be dope, yeah. Just slightly worried about closing speed. I don't think you need to be. Ragavan Darcy close really fast. And so does Sprite Dragon. I don't think I'd be worried about it. Well, I mean, you could worry about whatever you want to. Any warriors in chat? Yeah, I also thought the Stoneforge, like specifically to get Manriki Gusari, was pretty good. Thought that was some good tech. We haven't played against Hammer Time yet today. Could Darcy be good in the breach deck? Maybe. Probably. I mean, I don't know. Emrakul shuffling is a bit awkward with Delirium. Not that that's that big a deal, because that doesn't happen that often. Maybe. You could build a Ragavan Darcy breach deck, probably. Alright, let's do a Spell Pierce / Force of Negation check, I think. Although, I mean, this puts them to 2. But it only kills 1 permanent. Just have the sideboard be a prowess deck. Yeah. I think it's a bit better if people are like actually sideboarding in more cards against you typically. So the draw, I don't think I want the Ragavans. I might bring them in on the play. I'm gonna bring in these relics. First, Flusterstorm in favor of the Prismari commands. Yeah. I mean, I think we played that game really well. I don't think there was really anything else to do. Obviously, they got super stumbled. We played Mill. It's like we played against Mill for the first 2 matches this league. It was a really good time. The Reanimator Breach deck could be good. Maybe. Like, one issue is that like the main thing that you want to through the breach is Emrakul, which doesn't play particularly well with your reanimation plan. So you'd have to be playing Goryo's Vengeance instead of Unmarked Grave plus Persist. I do feel like Archon, I feel like the Unmarked Grave Persist plan still has potential. I'm thinking maybe I haven't found the best home for that deck yet. People dash Ragavan way too aggressively, man. It's becoming a problem. I'm gonna need to intervene with every MTGO user and say, all right, why did we dash Ragavan here? Archon is still fine to breach. I mean, it's fine. It's even good to breach, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe that could be a thing. Maybe you play 4 through the breach. Unmarked Grave Persist, 4 Archon. Yeah, now they're just casting it. You could do that. We've gotten 2 1-mana counters out of their hands. Not too much to do this turn though. That actually sounds pretty fun. I don't know how good it is. Maybe we'll try to put the deck together. So we would be Rakdos, and we'd play discard spells, persist Unmarked Grave, 4 Archons, probably no Profane Tutor if we're playing the Through the Breaches. Through the Breach is 5 mana though. Aren't you technically giving Emrakul dash? Big brain. Ooh, dude, you can give Ragavan dash with Through the Breach too. Arcanoff Breach attacks for 12. How do we close? I mean, with just another Through the Breach, right? So you Through the Breach Archon. Yeah, it's not as good as Emrakul, but it's like you Through the Breach Archon, they discard 2, they lose 6, you gain 6, draw 2, and you hit them for another 6 damage, and they sack 2 creatures in theory. Maybe that's enough. I think I'm just gonna put back the Misty. I need to find ice here. Yellow hat. Yellow hat. Da 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 da. Congrats on your win this weekend, dude. Your deck was really cool. Seemed like just I don't know, just the genius flowing through you. Oh, dude, this is a good emote. Yellow hat arrive. Yeah, perfect store. Yeah, I didn't get to watch very much of it. I was at the water park with my partner on Sunday, but I was doing a little bit on my phone in the Uber. Well, I'm gonna jam here. I think my opponent might have a counterspell though. We have game 3 on the play. I might bring in Ragavan on the play. If these relics are lotus petals, we could have countered back. Yeah, I think I like the idea of Ragavan on the play. They boarded in so much counter magic too. Not sure exactly how we find room for this. We can like trim an awakening, can trim one of each of these. Probably fine. Yeah, this looks fine. They probably still have their bolts in their deck, but I imagine that they cut their unholy heats. Probably have to keep this hand. So no turn 1 Darcy if they're going to play Bauble first. Art Evidence might actually be good in this deck. I know that Minguchi's been really liking the card. Let's keep this. I think we just ice them on their upkeep. I've been really liking ice in the deck too. Well, there were 4 counterspells in the 75 of Gab's Jeskai deck. 1 main 3 side, but I think I like the theory behind it a lot, right? Where modern is just there's just so many 1-mana spells. Counterspell isn't that well positioned. When like you're always trading down on mana with Counterspell is I think the theory there. But it's still like your best card in a lot of matchups, so like being able to put them in makes a lot of sense too. But just like trying to be pre-boarded and not be relying so much on Counterspell makes sense to me. If we successfully dash this Ragavan, we can through the breach next turn. My opponent says, "Oh, what the." I just what a pike. Here you. Pretty bad if they like go like lightning bolt into Murktide Regent. But I kind of like this. What do you think about icing their open mana to prefer go off instead of just the tempo ice? I think it was good that turn to ice their land. Before I like had the combo right, like didn't I draw the Emrakul turn? Off the ice? Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe Ragavan should just be the main deck of this deck. I don't know. I think it's like a cool sideboard juke when people board out their removal against you, but maybe it's just too good not to play. Bottom that. Dalton, 26 months? That's crazy, dude. Thanks, buddy. Alright, I think I go Lightning Bolt Ragavan off Mountain, see how they respond. They counter it, I'll steal their Ragavan, I think. Force pitching force, wow. So I think that maybe they'll counterspell this Ragavan. We get that out of their hand, and then we get to go yoink. If they have another force, I guess. I mean, they did have one, they just pitched it. They'd have to have 3 forces in their hand. Alright. I think that turn worked out pretty well for us. Got 2 2-for-1s. And traded Ragavan for a counterspell, which is a good mana exchange. They thought Scour themselves. If they have Murktide Regent and we don't draw a land, all of a sudden, we're not in great shape. If we draw a land, we win. They're topping for red mana. Dash Ragavan. Just accept the hit here. They exiled over a pathway, so if we block, we would have won the game. Nice. And keep that. Sorry, having trouble with the Murktide. Make sure I can get it to be 8/8, of course. And then I could play the Valakut Awakening tapped. I think that's fine. Yeah, I did see that deck Doom. I actually wrote a deck highlight for CFE for that this morning. That deck's pretty cool. Deck's pretty cool. Yeah, thank you, Payne. Appreciate you. Alright, 3-1. Yeah, talk about Spider Space's deck list, which is pretty good. The less fun I'm having, the more engaged the audience is. Other than fun reason, what are we playing Through the Breach? Was it targeting the metagame? So the metagame is full of removal spells at the moment, and Through the Breach is pretty good against removal spells. And I think both Fire, Ice, and Prismari Command are well positioned, and this is a very good Fire, Ice, Prismari Command deck. So I've been liking the deck list. I don't think it's, you know, it's been feeling pretty good today. It's been feeling pretty reasonable. Yeah, also use Slam Dunk Mill, and Mill is a somewhat popular deck at the moment. Yeah, but if Prismari Command is really good, then and if Fire Ice is I think underplayed and a powerful card in the metagame, then maybe this is just a good deck. Playing the Mirror, maybe? Kind of looks like it. Yeah, I got really lucky. Played against Mill twice this league. 3-2'd the first league. Yeah. Then next we're gonna play Ephemerate, which is maybe gonna be the fun league. All right, let me just looting here. It looks like we're actually playing the Mirror. It could be something else, of course. It could just be Blue Moon. I think we're fine against. It is Blue Moon. We have a second island. We also have the treasure token. What we don't have is an Emrakul on the top. I think I just want to make sure I get to resolve this. Blue Moon is not really well known for being able to untap and punish you with powerful permanents. I'll discard a Through the Breach and a Counterspell. I could maybe keep 2 Through the Breaches. Yeah, I'll discard Counterspell and a Bolt. So I can go end of turn Through the Breach. Yeah, I guess discarding the Bolt doesn't play well around Jace, but they tend to play very few Planeswalkers. Yeah, I got my my value there, I guess. I'll play this. I'm kind of down to Through the Breach end of turn here. Just get a Counterspell out of their hand. Well, it's kind of bad against Cryptic Command. Just let them get Cryptic. Who even plays Cryptic right now, though? The card's not that good right now. The bad time. Oh. Okay, yeah, cool. Alright, so now I think I'm going to draw 2. Alright, hold the Lancet Loot away. Yeah, if they had like a Jace earlier, they would have been able to slam it, so I don't think that they have one there. Second Blood Moon. I guess that means they're not playing any like ways to loot Blood Moon away. Or any spells to loot Blood Moon away. I guess Blood Moon's another permanent for Emrakul. I could consider dealing them 2 damage. Emrakul's just lethal, but I think that I'd rather have the treasure plus loot here. They're not really. I mean, if you have Cryptic Command, I guess it's kind of reasonable to Cryptic Command this. Yeah, next I've got this Jeskai Flicker deck that I think is decent. I played a little bit of it over the weekend. I felt okay about it. And I feel like I just have been neglecting trying to figure out good ephemerate strategies in Modern, so I kind of want to spend some time doing that. Let me draw 2. The only mode on Archmage's Charm. Tap their Blood Moon end of turn. Yo, they're down to just 1 card in their hand. We should have iced first. Well, I guess maybe we'll never find Emrakul. And now they're just top decking. Emrakul means we could just get to jam through the breach here. I guess I'll play this so I can not sack my treasure token if I go. I guess I'm not going to go through the breach into turn though, but I can at some point. Maybe it's better to hold for like looting Valakut Awakening. Cool. Finally found Emrakul. Opponent could have sacked some Blood Moons there. Alright, now we get to bring in Ragavan. Bring in Flusterstorm. Cut the Lightning Bolts. Cut 2 Prismari Command. Looks pretty good to me, unless they're also on the Sideboard Ragavan plan. Cross that line, cross that bridge when we come to it. How do they win? Eh, they probably don't that often. They probably don't that often. What about the 6? Yeah, once they get the 4th Blood Moon in play, they win. But only if they're all mismatched. So waiting for a good General Ferocious Roderick build. I didn't mind the one we had with the just the Domain Zoo deck, but I have been thinking about the General and the card the Monk class. So maybe you can hope I come up with something with that. It's probably not there, but I feel like the Monk class is close to Modern playable. They left it Unholy Heat? Wow. Well, I mean, I've got Counterspells. Yeah, but like Monk class, General Ferocious Roderick, and Manamorphose all play well together, but I don't really have anything beyond that. Besides like the kind of like loose idea that all these cards play well together. Everyone's been missing lands. I think they're gonna sack this to draw a card. So I want to save my treasure to through the breach next turn. If they have Flusterstorm or Dispel or Force of Negation, that's all fine. Well, I guess we're gonna wait a turn. Do we do it on their instep to play around Force? Probably. Especially if they're just missing lands. Flavor, fail, Monk class cards not super OP. I feel like monks aren't that OP in D&D at least, if that's what you're talking about. They didn't even let me show them. Alright, we're 7-3 all the day with Through the Breach. It's pretty good. And the deck's reasonable right now. Nothing too crazy. Just kind of wanted to show it off for a couple of leagues. I like Silverquill Command. I don't think Silverquill's Time in the Sun is just gonna come out yet, but I do think that the Witherbloom Command, the black-green one, I think that card's actually solid at the moment. But I do want to switch it up to this Jeskai Ephemerate deck that I've got put together.